Alright folks, William Baxter.
I'm Paul Bell.
And I want to give a shout out. It's been about a week since the passing of Gary Shandling.
Yeah.
I, again, like the Batman video that we did that's up and going, I wanted to do it after everybody had done their thing. Gary Shandling was one of my favorite comedians growing up. And I remember him when he used to guest host The Tonight Show. And I liked it when he guest hosted the show and everything. He also kind of he switch swapped with Jay Leno. Jay Leno was around the time where he started guest hosting, and honestly, I think Gary Shandling would have done a better job if he was given to him. But but I thoroughly enjoyed Gary Shandling's comic routine and everything. He started off as a TV writer, then started as a stand-up, and he did something that not a lot of comedians did, and a lot of comedians have the problem of he flaunted his imperfections, and he lampooned them and everything, and he made it part of his routine, and he showed that the best type of laughter is laughing at yourself and then having people laugh with you. And I think that's always a good way to look at life and everything. And I said I loved him on The Tonight Show. I remember he did a special called the Gary Shandling 25th Anniversary Show, where he was playing himself but as a TV talk show host, how it would have been if he had hosted his own talk show. And then he did a show called on Showtime Network when Showtime just started doing channels or TV shows. It was a situation comedy, which actually kind of broke the rules. He broke the fourth wall.
Yeah.
Not a lot of TV shows did that, if at all, unless it was a narration. And it was called It's the Gary Shandling Show. And the theme song, I'll just look it up and everything. The theme song basically goes, "This is the theme to Gary's show. He called me up and told me to write a show theme." And that's basically how the lyrics goes. And the show was absolutely funny as hell. It lasted about 4 seasons. And then on HBO, he did this thing called another show on HBO called The Larry Sanders Show, starring Gary Shandling, and it basically was a lampoon satire of behind the scenes of a late night talk show.
Yeah.
And he had so many guest stars on that show. He had just about almost more guest stars than The Simpsons had, and I mean, funny as hell.
I don't know. The Simpsons made Trump president.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But I mean, this show was so funny. I mean, anybody get a chance, look it up on YouTube. I know it's on DVD. Next time I see it ever sold on DVD, I'm buying it because I love that show. I watched it every time it came on HBO, and it was just funny as hell. And the funny thing is that they would film the show like an actual talk show on video, and then when they would cut to commercial or cut to the end of him filming the show, it would be like regular camera work and everything. So, I mean, funny, great stars come off that and everything. Janine Garofalo got her start on there. The guy who played the dad on the Arrested Development, right. Jeffrey Tambor and everything, he played Hank. He was kind of like the sidekick to Larry Sanders. Rip Thorne, he was on that show. He played the executive producer. There were so many. You notice a lot of people on there and everything when you watch it that are now very successful in the industry on television and stuff. But I love the show to death. And Gary Shandling has said the last few things that he's done. He was the turtle in Over the Hedge, which is one of my favorite DreamWorks movies.
Wyatt likes it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I can't get over the squirrel. Who gives meth to a squirrel? Really? Come on.
Someone that's very bored.
I have never given meth to a squirrel.
You haven't been that bored yet. I don't think you've reached that low.
That might be it. That might be it.
But and then he was also he played the Senator in 2 of the Marvel films, Iron Man 2 and Captain America 2.
Yeah.
Where he played a secret Hydra agent that was disguising as a senator. But
I'm sorry, the back and forth between him and Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was good.
Set the tone for that movie.
Yeah.
Set the tone for that movie.
It lets you really see that, you know, Robert Downey Jr. is Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was one of those instances where you could see art imitating real life.
Yeah. But I just, you know, I mean, I don't know if you watched any of his stand-up or, I mean, I know you're a little younger than I am.
Yeah.
But your thoughts on this? I mean,
you know, I thought he was a very funny man. You know, he always seemed to be able to, no matter, you know, where he showed up, he was always able to draw your attention to him. I think that was just because he was very confident in his abilities, you know. But yeah, definitely a very funny guy. And, you know, I think the world's a little bit smaller without him.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of comedians, you know, said that he was kind of like the comedic guru.
Yeah.
Consultant and everything. You know, if you watch Conan O'Brien's tribute on, you know, how he, you know, was, you know, consulting Conan and everything during the whole Tonight Show debacle and everything a few years back. But I had to say, I loved Gary Shandling's work. You know, it's going to be kind of hard to think of a world without him, but I want to say condolences to his families, and I just want to say the comedy world is, as you said, it's a little smaller now and everything without him and everything. So
we got to stop losing these great comedians and getting people like, you know, just terrible people. Amy
Kardashians.
Schumer. Shame on Amy Schumer. No. I can't help it. I dislike the woman. I can't help it. Yeah. Some of Dane Cook's stuff, you know, he's too hyper.
Bill Hicks.
He needs to get drunk before there.
Bill Hicks, all the way. But anyway, Gary Shandling, my hat's off to you. We salute you, and Godspeed. And one last thing, if you go into Jerry Seinfeld's YouTube channel, where he does this show called, I think it's Comedic Coffee or Cars or something, I can't remember.
I have no idea. Seinfeld's one of those comedians on my list.
But I mean, he does he asked Gary Shandling, which he was his guest not too long ago. He asked him, "What would you like at your funeral?" Said at your funeral, he says, "I want the priest to go, want him to, you know, count to 5 and everything, like in a boxing match, like a referee in a boxing match. And when he gets to 5, he just goes, okay, he's not getting up." And Jerry Seinfeld just cracks up laughing, just drops. I mean, Gary Shandling, that type of humor and everything. I mean, I'm gonna miss that sense of humor and everything. I mean,
that's like one of those iconic funeral jokes. You know, we've all heard some of the current favorites. I want towards the end of my funeral for them to start playing "Pop Goes the Weasel" on the on the organ, so people sit on the edge of their seat in horrified anticipation. You know, we've heard that one, and we've heard "Before I die, I want to eat 2 bags of uncooked popcorn to make the cremation more interesting." You know. But that has to be one of the favorites I've heard. I want him to count to 5. He's not getting up. He's done. Just exits are towards the back, people.
And again, that's the brilliance of Gary Shandling and everything. And
I just want to see a really old woman. If that happens, I want to see a really old woman get up in the front row and just do the whole victory dance. You know, just, yeah! Outlived!
There you go. Oh man, I tell you what, it's that type of comedian, that Gary Shandling, that brings out the best out of everyone. It makes us laugh, and you know, even in the time of mourning and everything, you're still gonna laugh about it and everything. And again, we're gonna miss you. And again, share this video and everything. You know, just go out there and look up Gary Shandling in general and everything, just to really check out his stand-up, man. I mean, funny as hell. And just those 2 shows, it's the Gary Shandling Show and the Larry Sanders Show. Look those up, and trust me, you will be busting a gut laughing. So, alright folks, I'm William Baxter.
And I'm Paul Bell.
And this is Garfield. We'll see you later. Thanks for watching, and keep watching.